Hello everyone and welcome to Tathastu ICS. My name is Trija Garg and I am your economy faculty. Today we will be learning about reserve requirement, minimum reserve system and the money multiplier. This is part of your money and banking. तो सबसे पहले बात करते हैं minimum reserve system की. अब क्या होता है, you know that we have a lot of currency notes. When we talk about currency, we have in the form of paper currency and we have coins. Right? So we have 500 rupee note, we have 100 rupee note, we have 50 rupee note, we have 20 rupees note, we have 10 rupees note, we have 5 rupees note, we have 1 rupee note, and we also have coins. Right? Part of your modern currency. Now you must know about this, that these are issued by RBI. You will see the signature of the RBI's governor here. These are also issued by RBI, but on behalf of the government. Okay, here you will see the signature of the financial secretary, which comes under the Ministry of Finance. Okay, and the coins are also minted by the government only, but issued by RBI. So I can say that money in circulation, this is around 2%, but the majority of money that we have in circulation is this, 98%. So we can say that RBI is the one who is issuing the majority of the money that is in circulation, right, in our economy. Now let us learn about minimum reserve system. We wonder, हम हमेशा सोचते हैं कि if RBI is issuing the money, कितना कर सकती है, what is the limit to it, है ना, कुछ तो limit होगा या करती जाएगी. What is the limit to issuing the currency in the economy? So it depends upon the minimum reserve system, which was basically adopted by India in 1951. In this minimum reserve system, it was said that RBI can issue the currency to a limit where RBI has certain reserves which are of equal amount. For example, इसमें ये बोलते हैं 1951 में ये हुआ था कि you need rupees 515 crores of reserves and then you can issue the currency of the same amount in the economy. ठीक है, इसमें से हमारा क्या होता था बेसिकली, इससे पहले ये होता था कि अगर हम बात करें, ये बाद में आया, इससे पहले ये होता था कि हम जितना रिजर्व्स है उतना ही इशू कर सकते हैं करेंसी. तो इट used to be equal only. If I am issuing let's say 100 crores of currency in the economy, then I need to have 100 crore rupees in my reserves in the form of gold, in the form of forex, etc. ठीक है, लेकिन उसके बाद आया मिनिमम रिजर्व सिस्टम. मिनिमम रिजर्व सिस्टम ये होता था कि 15 जो कम से कम आपको इतना रिजर्व चाहिए एंड देन इतना अगर आपके पास रिजर्व्स है, देन RBI can issue currency more than that, any amount. तो मिनिमम आपके पास 515 करोड़ ऑफ रिजर्व्स होने चाहिए. इसमें से 115 करोड़ रुपीस शुड बी इन गोल्ड एंड रुपीस 400 फॉरेक्स रिजर्व्स. ये होता था इन 1950. ठीक है, लेट अस रिवाइज अगेन. सो अर्लियर इट वाज दैट बेसिकली I'm talking about before 1951. So basically it was that कि जितना money you want to issue in the economy, you need to have, it should be backed up by basically the reserves that you must be having in gold or in forex. Okay, then in 1951 India adopted the minimum reserve system, in which it was said that 515 crores of reserves you must have. If you have that minimum amount of reserves with you, with RBI, then the RBI can issue any amount of currency in the economy as per the need. Now out of this 515 crores, 115 crores should be gold and others should be forex reserve. ठीक है, then now right now it has changed to basically rupees 200 crores, in which you will have 115 crores of gold or you can have it more. 115 तो चाहिए या उससे ज़्यादा गोल्ड हो सकता है. And the other is, besides forex, you can have rupee securities, you can have ट्रेजरी बिल्स एटसेट्रा. ओके, सो अब ये सिक्योरिटीज में भी आप रख सकते हो बाकी अमाउंट. अगर आपके पास इतना अमाउंट है, देन यू विल बी एबल टू बेसिकली इशू एनी अमाउंट ऑफ करेंसी दैट यू वांट इन द इकोनॉमी. ठीक है, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. लेकिन अभी कितना है, सो यू मस्ट नो अबाउट दिस कि ये लेस देन 1% ऑफ द रिजर्व्स वी हैव as per the इशूड करेंसी इन द इकोनॉमी। तो जितना इकोनॉमी में करेंसी अभी इशूड है उसका लेस देन 1% हमारे पास रिजर्व्स है, हमारे पास मींस आरबीआई के पास। सो वी कैन से दैट दिस इज बेसिकली मैनेज्ड पेपर करेंसी सिस्टम। तो जितना मनी हमने इशू कर रखा है इन द इकोनॉमी दैट इज नॉट बैक्ड अप बाय द रिजर्व दैट वी मस्ट और शुड हैव। ओके, तो इसीलिए हम सिर्फ पेपर करेंसी सिस्टम को क्या कर रहे हैं, मैनेज कर रहे हैं। ओके, सो आई होप दिस इज क्लियर, आई होप मिनिमम रिजर्व सिस्टम इज क्लियर। नाउ लेट अस टॉक अबाउट कि हाउ दिस इज यूज्ड। तो अब क्या होता है, लेट्स से आरबीआई कैन इशू मनी, right? Minimum reserve system है। Now RBI has basically the liberty to basically do what? To issue as many amount of currency as they want। ठीक है, 200 करोड़ उन्होंने रखे हुए हैं। तो RBI basically injects money in the banking system, है ना। RBI injects money in the banking system. How does the RBI injects money in the banking system? We have different types of policies. We have repurchase agreement. We have long-term repo rate. We have MSF, marginal standing facility, or we have OMO, that is open market operations. Using these, which we have already studied, the tools, RBI can inject money in the banking system. So let's say the RBI injected rupees 100 in the banking system using any of the tools. Now RBI says to the banks that out of this 100 you need to keep something as reserve. Okay, reserve in the form of CRR, cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio, SLR. Okay, CRR is kept with RBI, SLR is kept with basically the banks themselves. Banks earn interest on SLR. How do they earn interest? Because they've invested some of the money in the government securities to maintain the SLR, so they get the interest on it. And obviously on CRR, RBI does not give them any interest. Okay, so now we will learn how this 100 rupees will be basically creating 500 rupees in the economy. Okay, so let us learn about that. Let's say 100 rupees. Basically, this 100 rupees was given by, let's say, RBI, and the total reserve requirement, not the total reserve requirement, but the total reserves of the bank started to increase. Out of the deposits, the banks had to keep, let's say, 20% as reserve. This was the reserve requirement. So, uska 20%, that is 20 rupees you will have to keep as reserve. Now, they are left with 80 rupees. 80 rupees, let's say, was lent. Okay, 80 rupees was lent to a businessman. Now, so 100 rupees, we have 20 rupees, we have 80 rupees. So when we talk about the 80 rupees, we have basically the businessman here. The businessman got 80 rupees. Now it could be around rupees 80 crores also. So this 80 crore rupees, what will happen is, this 80 crore rupees will come back to the bank itself, or ये businessman ने अगर किसी और के लिए लिया हुआ है loan, that person will also deposit that amount in the bank only. Right? So in the end the money is coming back to the bank. Now let's say this 80 rupees is deposited in the bank. Again, this out of this deposit 20% will be kept as reserve with the banks, that is rupees 16, and 64 will be lent to somebody else. Now this person also will come, keep the money with the bank. Okay, again they will have to maintain some reserve. Again the last amount will be lent, the remaining amount will be lent. This will keep happening till the reserves become equal to the deposits, because this is the limit. This was the actual amount that was actually deposited when we have 100% rupees of reserves in totality, or when the reserves become basically zero and the banks do not have any more amount to lend, then that will be the limit to it. Okay, so we will see that in the end what will happen is, banks will be, on papers we will have 500 rupees of deposits, 20% reserves, we will have basically 100 rupees of reserves that the banks will have, and in the end they must have been created 400 rupees of lending. So you will see that using only 100 rupees of deposits, the banks have created worth 500 rupees of money in the economy. So this is known as money multiplier. So using these deposits, basically what we can do is, when RBI injects money into the banking system reserves are increasing, which is helping the banks to lend more and more amount of money. So basically what is happening, money is creating, money is multiplying. So 100 rupees multiplied into 500 rupees in the economy. Okay, what is the limit to it? So money multiplier is basically equal to 1 upon reserve requirement. This reserve requirement is CRR majorly, but it could be in SLR also, so both. So our reserve requirement was 1 upon 20%, which will be equal to 5. So 5 times the money will be multiplied. So it is an easier way to find out, if we deposit 100 rupees, how much will be the money multiplied? 500 rupees. Right? So this is the limit. So whenever if somebody asks you what is the limit to the money multiplier, or what affects the money multiplier, it is the reserve requirement. If the RBI decides to actually increase the reserve requirement, banks will have less and less money to lend. So the money multiplier will decrease, right? They will have less money will be created. If the RBI decreases the reserve requirement, then the money multiplier will increase and the banks will have more and more money to lend. Hence the money will multiply in the economy. So there is an inverse relationship between money multiplier and reserve requirement. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now let us talk about M0. M0, which is also known as reserve money. Okay, which is also basically known as monetary base, because this is the base which is used to multiply money. And then we have primary money, also known as primary money, or it is also known as base money, basic money. Okay, now it includes basically currency in circulation, that is the currency with the public, plus we have banks deposits with RBI. So this is your M0, that is your monetary base, reserve money, primary money or basic money. So I hope that you have understood. M0 is the one that influences the money multiplier, and this is the monetary base using which we can create more and more money in the economy. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.